Right, I've just been given something very special. I think I know what it is. It's a big heavy box. Let's open it up. This is a plaque, a trophy for 1 million subscribers for the River Monsters channel. It's quite a weight. Here we go. It's gold. It's not real gold, but it's quite stylish actually. There's 1 million of you subscribers out there. Thank you very much. It is incredibly gratifying to me and to the whole River Monsters team, the fact that what started off as one program over 10 years ago has become so popular amongst such a wide audience all over the world. So this, as a tangible indication of that, is actually something very special. Well, here to celebrate 1 million subscribers to the River Monsters YouTube channel, here are some of my favourite moments from over the years. And before that, just one more time, thank you very much to everybody. I've travelled the world tracking down river monsters in some of the most dangerous waters imaginable. But my journey to catch a deadly electric eel ends at a mud hole in the middle of cattle pasture. It's the last place on Earth I'd expect to find an elusive, lethal fish. I'm just making a bit of a trench. From my point of view, it'll be easier to handle if there's some kind of sort of notch that it's in, rather than it's being able to slip and slide all over the place. My normal capture method would be useless in water this shallow, so out goes the rod and in comes a lasso, fitting for cowboy country. Because electric eels don't rely on physical strength, pulling it out of the water shouldn't be that hard. But not getting shocked will be. So protective clothing is essential. We've got a plan. The plan is not so much to sort of go after the head with the noose, but to position that and then get it to go through the noose. Just taking a few deep breaths, because one slip and it could be very nasty indeed. Need to be so focused and so careful about this. An eel this size can deliver a shock of 650 volts. That's enough to stop my heart in seconds. First go, amazing, first go. Electric eels can keep on shocking out of water, but the rubber gloves we're wearing protect us from this. Oh, look at the colours on this thing. These are wonderful. I've got to give it a clean. It's doing a sort of, it looks like a muscle contraction, spasm almost. That's when it's actually shocking. Because electric eels get most of their oxygen from breathing air, they can stay out of water for long periods of time. That's 5'10½". That's pretty much exactly the same as me. This is exactly the same size as the eel that killed Francisco, the 21-year-old man who died in the tiny pond near Villanova. If I wasn't wearing these rubber gloves, I could be dead too. It's over 100 degrees and I don't want the fish to overheat, so time it went back in the water. The pond may be shallow at the moment, but the rains are not far behind me. The waters will soon rise, giving this eel the freedom to roam once again. My search led me to this tiny drying out puddle. I mean, the water in there is barely 6 inches deep. It's the last place you'd expect to find a river monster, but that's where it was. There's more, there's more, there's more. There's not just this big one. Again, it looks like wood, but it started moving. We were watching it, and it looks like there's actually several, but smaller, right in with these roots here. I've just never seen anything like this before. It's like a tangle of bodies. I'm just trying to count the heads. The more I look, the more I see. I was thinking 10 or a dozen. I think there could be 20 down here. one down here, or it might be two. There's a tail sticking out, about 4 or 5 foot down in the water, but it's right underneath this rock. It did move, as I came past, it did sort of shuffle further in though. Because you understand, the problem is, I just have the tail, a little bit of tail sticking out. So hold the tail, grab tight.
Okay.
Okay, so grab tight, and then in the net. Okay, I'm worried it might double around and have a go at me. It is a tough and robust animal, so I need to get a firm grip for its safety and mine. This isn't a monster I can catch on the end of a line. I've got to use my hands. I have caught a Hanzaki, better known as the giant Japanese salamander, one of the largest salamanders in the world, and the creature that I believe is behind the Kappa legend. They get bigger than this, but wow, this creature is aggressive, even though we mean it no harm. The good thing is that these guys, unlike fish, are just as at home on land as they are in the water. Pretty soon, he calms down. That is a Hanzaki noodled. And I'm very pleased that even with my gloves on, my hands stayed away from that mouth. He wasn't too amused by the fact that he was just pulled out of his hole like that. But this, I think, is the creature I've been after. Looks a bit like a fish, but it's got hands. And that's exactly what this has got. Mr. Toshimoto is monitoring the health of the Hanzaki population along this river. It's nearly 10 pounds. Measuring, weighing and micro-tagging every one of his catches. Counting all the digits, all normal. So that when he recaptures them, he can build up a clear picture of how this incredibly rare animal is faring in the wild. Best part of a yard long. And now we have collected a new one for his study. This is an animal that hasn't been caught before. It doesn't have a chip in it. So that's a really good capture. Normally I wouldn't be allowed to touch this, but the fact that I'm acting as Mr. Toshimoto's assistant means that I'm able to work with this animal. There are only a few pockets of these endangered giant salamanders left in the wild, these creatures that haven't changed since the age of the dinosaurs. Their survival is an important part of Japan's natural heritage. And when I try to release it, this national treasure still makes one last attempt to bite me, before disappearing, unfazed by his capture. Welcome to my piranha pool. Here at a local hotel, just like my favourite Bond villain, I've filled a small swimming pool with over 100 red-bellied piranhas, and they haven't eaten for days. It's the perfect opportunity to test just how voracious these creatures are. Everybody knows about sharks being bloodthirsty killers. Just wondering if piranhas have the same kind of sensitivity to blood. Piranhas have evolved to live in the murky, sediment-filled waters of the Amazon, where visibility is often less than a foot, so a good sense of smell to locate their next meal is surely essential. That's definitely getting a reaction. There's a number of fish have come into that cloud of blood and they're looking around. They want something to chew into, but there's nothing there at the moment. I think time to put a bit of flesh in there for them. So blood is definitely whetting their appetite. And there would have been blood in the water from those injured by the impact of the bus crash. Now, I wonder how these piranhas will react to a bloody piece of prime steak. There we go, it's the first nibble, the first nibble, the first nibble. And there they are, they're all piling in. Once the first one started, there we go, they're all over it now. Piranhas react to the sound and movement of another piranha feeding, attracting them to the scene and inciting a feeding frenzy. As soon as one piranha takes a bite, it moves away, allowing a fast turnover of feeders and a rapid succession of bites. It's no wonder they are known for stripping their food to the bone in just minutes.
There we go, meat definitely works. I just wonder now how they might react to something that's alive.
These piranhas were tearing into a piece of dead meat just a couple of minutes ago, but they're just not interested in me. So what is it that turns piranhas into vicious, murderous killers? That is what I want to try and find out.
If this one pulls me over, I'm in real trouble.
I was nearly tipping forward over that edge. I was going a little bit. My groin is starting to ache. Strong fish. The rod's jammed in. This is physical stuff. Physical work. It's coming up. Strong fish. But I think it's tiring. Tiring. There it is. There's the fish. Hey. Good grief. My crutch is killing me. And there it is.
But does it weigh more than 150 pounds?
The measure of the beast, that is 7 foot 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 foot 4 inches.
Then you open the mouth.
You can actually hear the echo coming out of the mouth there. Hello. And I can see its gullet opening and closing. If I was so inclined, I could put my fist down there quite easily. That is an eating machine. The whole thing is nearly 8 foot of just solid, rippling muscle. If that grabbed hold of your leg, that's an unpleasant enough thought, but if that decided not to let go and you were swimming, you'd be history. I'm about 175 pounds on a good day or a bad day, depending how you look at it. This fish could be more than that. Yeah. 74 kilos. That's about 163 pounds. Not quite as big and fat and ugly as I am. What I find really hard to credit is that I was doing those experiments where I was trying to see how much force I could exert in the water, and there was somebody on the bank with a spring balance just hooked around their finger reading off, okay, 30 or 40 pounds. This thing in the water was almost pulling me off the bank. I was having to dig in and really act like I was in a tug of war. How something with nothing solid to actually grab hold of can exert that force in the water, I find quite mind-boggling. It is very, very impressive indeed. Fish on! Red! The net! Okay, I've got to just keep pressure from above because there's rocks, and I've got to... It's gonna jump. That's the float, gonna see the fish very soon. There it is, that's a good fish. Look at that. The net. Careful, Fred, careful. Right, we want to be very careful now. Ready for the net. You want to get the head in. La tête. Oh, segurez le poisson. Oh!
got it. Oh, okay. We got the fish, we got the fish. All we've got to worry about now is it biting its way out. The mouth is going, the fish is breathing, that's good. And the gills are going, that's good. This water is nicely aerated, that's a good thing as well. Now, those teeth! That will just take lumps out of other fish, it will take lumps out of crocodiles even, and there are stories well documented of that taking lumps out of people. Wow, there we go. Ooh. What a freshwater monster this thing is. What I'm looking at here is the ultimate piranha. Those teeth, just like a piranha's, triangular, sharp blades down the side, and they interlock. They interlock almost like scissors. They will just cut a lump out. Two big differences though. One is piranhas hunt in packs. You know, this is a solitary hunter, and the other thing is the size. People who think that piranhas are scary, if they saw one of these things, I think their nightmares might be populated by a slightly different animal.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the River Monsters page.